It has been 5 months since I have cut a new episode of Ungovernable. A lot has happened in that time, and in this episode, I'll cover it all as well as what's going to be going down in the future. Let's roll. COVID world has been very cruel to many, many people, um, our family included. The last few months has included just a ton of change, loss, self-reflection, and I'm here to talk about it all to set up kind of what is going to be at least the near future for my content and what I'm going to be putting out there. In September of 2021, my family lost my mother in law and father in law. My mother in law died from COVID. My father in law died with COVID. As you can imagine, there is a nuanced and very complicated story that needs to be told about that. And I will talk about it in a future episode, which probably means that I'm back until they censor me for what I say during that episode. But so, as you can imagine, that has sent ripples or shock waves throughout my immediate family as well as my extended family. A lot of those ripples and shockwaves have resulted in myself and my wife and my three kids really talking about what the future looks like. The our reality completely changed within that 1 week period, and really, it has caused us to ask some very difficult questions that we probably should have asked a long time ago. So, one of the conclusions that we've reached is that New Jersey is not where we want to raise our family. What New Jersey used to be might have been somewhat closer to what we were looking for. But as a result of the actions that were taken by this idiot, as well as this idiot, have really darkened our not just our perception, but also just how we relate to others and how we relate to the community within this state. And so, our children's lives were impacted dramatically. We were still able to go out and take walks, and we've always been outdoorsy and active. And it didn't matter whether it was cold or hot, we would get out and walk and hike and enjoy nature. But we came to the conclusion we can do that anywhere. What really was impacted was the fact that our kids being homeschooled and our choices in terms of our medical choices as a family, COVID further isolated us. We already knew that we had a small uphill battle in terms of keeping our kids involved in a community and finding friends and things like that. But it became painfully obvious that those around us not only didn't share our perspectives, but actually would have demonized us for them, right? Would have treated us as outcasts as a result of our choices for our family. And that is not the environment we want our kids to grow up in. And in fact, we looked back at the way things were pre-COVID, and even there, we were thinking to ourselves that, the people that we were associating with, and specifically the kids and the families that our kids were becoming attached to, didn't share our perspectives. And whereas I really want my kids to have diverse perspective, I also want them to have a strong, very close, social, almost kind of like village that they live within. And that really includes the family structure and the most immediate friends that they keep. I think myself, I've also discovered that I work way too much. I was away from the house way too often. Even when lockdowns happened and things like that, I was still out doing work. And I was not spending enough time with my family. I have a couple of friends here in New Jersey that are running for Congress, and they're running specifically just to get a message out there. And the message is that we have to stop putting nationalism and groupthink ahead of what's really important. And what's really important is individual natural rights and our families. Those are the two most important things. If you are religious, your belief system may, fit in there somewhere, either just below or right in the middle of those things. But for us, for me and my wife, family comes first, man. And me, if I was single, I would tell you that my individual rights and freedoms come first. But I'm willing to compromise on those for only 4 other people. And those 4 other people are my wife and 3 kids. And that's pretty much about it. And so, from that standpoint, family is going to be a main focus of ours going forward. And specifically for me, who had kind of forgotten about that. As a result of all of this soul searching, my wife and I have decided to put our house up for sale and to move to New Hampshire. New Hampshire has always been something that we've been eyeing up for the last couple of years. There was always an excuse to not go. There was always some kind of impediment or some kind of timeline that didn't fit. And losing my in-laws, and my wife losing her parents in one fell swoop, the way that it happened, really kind of opened our eyes to the fact that there's no excuse for there's no reason to put off your life, to hit the pause button on something that you want to do and not do what you want to do in terms of your future and setting things up, especially if it's for the people that you love and the people that are closest to you. And so, for that, or to that end, we are currently in the process of prepping the house to be shown. Hopefully, we will have it on the market here within the next couple of months, because, quite frankly, I do not have a lot of faith in the housing market outside of the next few months, especially with interest rates rising. You're probably not going to get a ton of financial advice on this channel, but I can tell you that myself and my wife really had to come to a quick decision as far as the house was concerned, because of the economy and the market dynamics that are happening right now. So we are knee deep in that process. We're also knee deep in the estate process, which, let me tell you, if you don't hate the state for income taxes and sales taxes, dude, go through a freaking estate that has even a couple $1,000s attached to it. It is a freaking nightmare trying to keep those blood-sucking vampires from taking money that your family accrued over their lives and intentionally want to pass on to their loved ones. My wife is an only child. There is no contention. There's no one sticking their hand in saying, "Oh, that's ours and this is ours." It is understood. The estate goes to my wife, and yet we still have to jump through all these hoops and pay all these fees and try to avoid all these taxes. And believe me, that will be yet another episode. I probably will not be doing as much political commentary, though that is kind of a form of therapy for me. So there may be some rants, there may be some live casts in the future that's associated to politics or the ridiculous economics of the United States right now. But I'm really trying to focus on some more recorded content and content that has a high level of value. To that end, in addition to all these moving parts, I fired up the 3D printer. I'm working on a number of other projects that I'm really excited to kind of share with everyone. As a result, I can show you some of my nerdery here. Anyone who's a StarCraft fan from back in the day, we've got some StarCraft figures that we printed up. There's a couple of small imperfections in there that we're going to have to work on, but we're going to figure out how to 3D print some shit. We're going to figure out how to finish it off, whether it's sanding, filling, painting, and kind of doing the polish work on those items afterward. We have some more functional pieces that I've been working on, just really basic stuff at the very beginning. So some carabiners and things like that. And then we can get into really some fun stuff, I'll tell you. In addition to that, crypto will always be a big part of my life. And so I have a little cold storage wallet that I have to set up, and I will walk through that with everyone. We'll talk about crypto updates in the market. We'll talk about other opportunities within the crypto space. I am doubling down on HIVE. I am doubling down on HIVE. I put my money where my mouth was. I don't just hold HIVE. I don't just post on HIVE. But what I am developing is a education-based DApp on the HIVE blockchain. It is called Questable. The web address, once it is up and live, will be questable.io. And it is a blog-based questing for education platform. It's for all ages. I can't wait to see what people do with it. I have kind of a vision of what I think 1.0, the version 1.0 is going to look like. I can't wait to see what people do with it once they get onto that platform. It's essentially a tailored front end for the Hive blockchain, and it is going to allow people, whether you're an educator or a student, to be able to earn crypto based off of your educational journey. And the other beauty here is that, again, there's no age requirements. So to be a teacher, you could know something at age 12 and post a quest for someone who's 60 on the blockchain, and the 60-year-old is the student and the 12-year-old is the teacher, and both of you earn crypto for doing it. It's really exciting. I can't wait to show it, and kind of do a walkthrough with everyone and really kind of publicize that DApp. One thing that I want to remind everyone is, the traditional like, subscribe, comment stuff always still applies. Please remember this. I'm not monetized on YouTube or any of the other Web 2.0 platforms, nor do I ever want to be. If the saga with Joe Rogan has anyone learning anything, hopefully it's that being on platforms where there are centralized gatekeepers or control points or points where censorship can take place, doesn't matter how much leverage you have. They will always find a way to flex that muscle if they feel like they need to or if it's advantageous to them. So for me, I am not monetized on any of those platforms. It helps me out to get the message out if you subscribe and like and comment on those platforms, and I am there. I will interact with you. But truthfully, the way that I make any kind of income or any kind of reward from doing these things monetarily is through crypto, and that would be on 3Speak Online, on the Hive blockchain, or on Odyssey are the two biggest spots. When I am live casting, I live cast on Odyssey as well as Vim TV. So if you catch any of the lives, upvote me then when I am live. But as far as the recorded versions, any of my posts on Hive blockchain are also fair game. If you upvote me there, I get crypto. And let's talk in the comments, because our replies and upvotes there earn us both crypto as well. And so I'd love to hear from you, get feedback, and really have a conversation. Definitely check out the Liberty community on Hive. If you're on Hive, you know what the communities are. Check out the Liberty community. It's been somewhat dormant as of late. It will change as of right now. As of this post, we'll go up there, and a number of other things I will be posting to the Liberty platform, the Liberty community on Hive in the near future. And yeah, so I'm really excited to be back, creating some content and mixing it up. I owe a debt of gratitude to some channels that have really gotten me through this. Heresy Financial, Joe Brown, who's out there. Heresy Financial, HERESY, is a fantastic channel on YouTube as well as a number of other platforms. He does an amazing job of laying out just the economics of the system, where things are potentially going to go. He is a huge gold and silver bug, which is awesome. Something I will talk more about here in the future, because I think if you don't own gold and silver right now, you're missing out on a huge opportunity to basically insure your investments or what assets that you have accrued over your period of your life. And so, yeah, I mean, Joe Brown's gotten me through this. The usuals. I mean, part of the problem, Dave Smith has really kind of helped me. Michael Malice, and a huge shout out to my crew here in New Jersey: Frankie, Mike Rufo, Dan Francisco, Nick Magner, Scott Hitchner. You guys are freaking rock stars. Your support and just the fact that you're awesome people, and a community that I want to keep going, even though I won't be here in the state long term. I consider you guys part of my close family. That again, I prize over any kind of other type of collectivism or label or team jersey. You guys are freaking rock stars in my book, and I've leaned on you guys a lot, at least for kind of morale and just kind of keeping my spirits up, and the jokes and things like that have helped ridiculously to keep me on track and keep me from falling into a really dark place. And so I want to say thank you for that. So with that, that is the end of this much needed, long awaited, probably not anticipated by many, hopefully by some, but long awaited episode of Ungovernable. I am looking forward to telling a lot of stories, creating a lot of content here in the future. And I'm looking forward to having a conversation with all of you in terms of, where you're at, what you're going through, and maybe I might even get a little bit of a chance to travel vlog here for about 6 months while things kind of get settled. In terms of, I'll be in New Jersey probably till the end of 2022, or at least in one way, shape, or form. But there might be 6 or 7 months there of travel, which could be fun too. I've always wondered what it was like to be a travel vlogger, and might try my hand at that a little bit. So I'm looking forward to that opportunity. So there's definitely a theme of adventure coming up here in the future, and adventure being just having fun and figuring stuff out and being free, and taking advantage of the amazing existence that we have, and not allowing others to limit it is a big deal, right? And that's really that at the heart of what it is to be ungovernable, not letting others limit the existence that you want to live. So I'm looking forward to going on that adventure, and that journey with all of you.